I've been wanting to do this video because I get a lot of questions about how do I stay safe traveling as a woman and what are my tips on traveling solo. Stay tuned for my 7 tips on traveling solo. Greetings, I'm Sean, and I create videos to help you walk with confidence, explore new places, and live life without regrets. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Hey friends, I hope you and your families are safe and well. Today we're getting into solo travel tips. Whether you're traveling abroad or within your country, these tips apply. The biggest thing in traveling solo is not letting other people tell you should be scared to travel. I'm an older traveler. I took my first solo international trip in 2017 to celebrate my birthday in Paris, Brussels, Amsterdam for 2 weeks. It was the best experience of my life. I was free. Give me free. Now I'm sharing with you what I've learned with my top 7 travel tips. Travel tip number 1, travel preparation, booking your flight. As a solo traveler, I always book my flights to arrive in the morning or early afternoon. I need to be able to see, I need to catch my bearings, know where I'm going and feel comfortable. Because I know as a solo traveler, I have to watch my front, my back, my sides, my bags. It's a lot going on. And being solo, I know that I have to take a little more safety precautions to be alert. And during the day, I'm just alert. In the evening, for whatever reason, if you do have to arrive in the evening hour, just book a legitimate car service or taxi service. Do your research, read the reviews, TripAdvisors, ask in the travel groups. That way you don't have to linger around wondering, where do I catch the taxi at? There are scams going on at the airport, and you don't have to deal with all the outside nuances to throw you off track from concentrating on your destination. Also, if you're booking your flight, make sure you know which airport you're arriving. For example, DC has 3 different airports. We have National, BWI, and Dulles, and they are at opposite ends of each other. For example, Paris has 2 airports at opposite ends. Now that you have your flights booked, start building your itinerary. I use a notebook to start building my itinerary and put all my information in here in one place. And my notebook just depends on how much information I have and how long I'm staying. But in here, everything is sectioned off. And you want copies of your passport, you want copies of your itinerary, your flights, pertinent information. If you can print out the countries you're going to, where the embassies are located, the phone numbers, all that information, credit cards. I even copy my credit cards and have in here. All right, you got your flight book, you building your itinerary with all your important information. If you're a U.S. citizen and you're traveling abroad, you want to enroll in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program called STEP. STEP is a free service to allow U.S. citizens, nationals traveling abroad to enroll with the local U.S. embassy or consulate. It's an easy form to complete, and you complete it for every country that you visit. And it's simply asking your travel dates, where you're staying, and your contact information. Part of travel preparation is your accommodations. And as a solo traveler, I've stayed in apartments I've rented, Airbnb, and hotels. And whether I'm staying in a hotel in the States or abroad, I make sure that I'm away from the elevator and the vending machine, ice machine. I don't want to hear the noise, and I don't want people coming off right into my door. The second thing I always request is a room away from the staircase. I'm paranoid. I don't like not knowing what's around that corner right there at the stairs. If anyone is waiting in the stairwell and just, you opening your door, I'm paranoid. I like a room away from the stairwell, and I like a room on a higher floor. I do not want to be on the ground floor. I don't want the second or the third floor, but higher is my comfortability preference. I also travel with the door alarm. This particular alarm, you hang on the door and you stick this side into the door. And if the door opens, this opens and it goes boo, boo, boo. It makes a loud noise, chirping, chirp. It's really loud. And I don't have the batteries in this one right now to let you hear the sound, but it works. And my mother actually bought me this one. And I have a door stopper which also alarms, and it causes resistance. And as soon as I enter my room, I double lock it. I always ask for double locking hotel rooms. Airbnbs. When I stay in an Airbnb, you must read the reviews. Read all of the reviews. And also talk with the host. And if they can't answer your questions, then you don't need to stay there. You don't need to give them your money. You want to feel comfortable before you arrive that you're safe and you're secure and your questions have been answered. When I'm Airbnb, I want to be close. So I pick things central, not too far from where I need to venture out to. And the other thing is, ask your Airbnb host about directions to their home. That's very important. Ask them any tips for your arrival, because our Airbnb host told us that when you come here, we were in Lisbon, he said, do not catch the taxis downstairs, catch the taxis upstairs, because the ones downstairs are not official. They're not legit. And you want to make sure that you are not scammed. That's important. We didn't know that, but that was good information that they shared, and they want to make sure you arrive safely. Ask all your questions, and if they can't answer it, then move on to a new one. Another place people stay are hostels. I have never stayed at a hostel. Have you stayed at a hostel? If you have stayed at a hostel, please leave your tips in the comment section below. I love to know, because it was on my list to try one day, but I just haven't gotten there yet. I stayed at an Airbnb in Budapest solo, and the host had excellent reviews. He was a super host. That's what you want to look for too. Make sure that the person is a super host, because they are ranked at a higher level and they have accommodated many guests, but their level rating is high. And they made me feel really comfortable. They arranged my taxi back to the airport. If I had any questions, I could contact them, but it was really a comfortable stay. Even when this wasn't solo when I was in Lisbon, but our Airbnb hosts were the best in Lisbon. Again, they had excellent reviews and they were a super host. Make sure if you choose an Airbnb, you get a super host and read those reviews. I can't stress how important those reviews are. And also leave good reviews, because that's what we need to know as customers. We want to know, is the water hot? Is it cold? Is the neighborhood safe? Do we hear the neighbors? That's good information to know. And I leave good reviews or honest reviews. I take those reviews seriously. Make sure you give a copy to someone you trust, someone who is able to access that information immediately for you in a crisis, someone who's technologically savvy and understand travel. And I also email myself a copy of this material. Make sure you write down on a piece of paper your contact number, your building codes, your directions, your address where you're staying. You want all that information written down and kept on you, just in case you lose your phone or your battery drains. That happened to me in Paris. It was cold and I had my phone, and I noticed iPhones do not work well in the heat or cold, and my battery was at 2%. I'm in the grocery store and I realized, oh my goodness, I don't know my building code to get in, and I don't have anybody's phone number memorized. And I ran out the grocery store and I went to the butcher shop next door, and I was like, Stilo, asking the guy for a pen, and he was like, okay, and he went back and got me a pen, and I was able to get in my phone and get the apartment code, and right when I wrote it down, I got it out my phone, it just went dead. I did not have a charger on me as well. And I was like, oh my God, I'll never do that again. And from that point on, I always write those important numbers down. Travel tip number 2, travel insurance. It's just non-negotiable, and it's very important. People think, oh no, I'm going to be okay, nothing's going to happen. It doesn't work that way. If you can't afford to purchase travel insurance, you can't afford to travel. It's just as plain and simple as that. It covers your delayed flights, lost luggage, evacuation. What if you get hurt? And it has happened to people. You get hurt, injured. You need to be evacuated for medical services, and you don't have that covered you don't have travel insurance, your credit card doesn't cover it, your health insurance doesn't cover it. That's a pretty penny that you may not have at the time. And life or death situation, it's very important to have that travel insurance. If you go to Squarebound, you can compare different travel insurance policies. The prices vary. Travel insurance can cost you anywhere from $130 to $200. Still a nominal cost for your protection, and not everybody's credit cards cover them, or what they may cover for some things and not other things. So really read your policies. I have used Travel Guard, World Nomad, Seven Corners. Get you some travel insurance. That's all I got to say on that. If you're gaining value from this video, hit the like button. Travel tip number 3, research. Do your own research. It's okay to get tips and advice from other people, even myself, but do your own research so you'll know your activities, your surroundings. Check out what scams are in a particular city. You can go on TripAdvisor, Google, these travel groups. It's information out there for you to know. Research public transportation. I'm a person who loves to take public transportation when I travel, and that is something that I want to know in terms of safety, times, cost, convenience of it. Travel tip number 4, safety tips and apps. When I travel abroad, I do not travel wearing my most expensive jewelry. I am subtle because, for one, I'm coming out the airport, I'm dragging bags, getting luggage, and I don't want to mess up my jewelry. At the same time, I don't want to be a target. And I don't have my designer purses all out. If I do have a designer purse, it's in my bag. You can't see it. And that's just precautions I take in terms of being safe and not a target, and being discreet with my belongings. Money. I always order money before I leave. I get that from my bank. I don't want to arrive in a country and don't have any of their money, just in case, again, anything can happen. I want to arrive and have some money on me. And when I'm there, if I need more money while I'm there, I'll go at the airport, or I'll ask the host if I'm staying at an Airbnb, or I ask the hotel, where can I get money safely? And they'll know. Bags and purses. Here's a purse I travel with. It's Travel On, and this is my second one. And this purse has been all over the world. And the great thing is an anti-theft, the RFID purse, and this may be too small for some of y'all, but this is just a crossbody that I can wear across my body, but you can lock it. On the sides here you can take this off, but it also locks, where you can lock it and no one can just unzip it. They have to go through you will see them trying to unlock your purse, and you never want to leave your bag. Honey, the moment you turn your head, it's just that quick. Your phone, your bag will be gone, and you won't even know it until it's too late. And you're like, I just barely glance. You don't leave it out on the table. You don't leave it behind your chair. You don't leave it loose. You just don't do that. I got this purse from eBags. I love their products. I'll leave the link in the description box below. That's where I got my backpack from too. And on backpacks, I travel with a backpack for the purpose of going to another country. If this is my base, I'll leave my luggage here and take the backpack for a few days when I'm traveling someplace else. But the thing is, I don't wear a backpack just around town because I don't have time for people to watch my zippers and people up on my back trying to get in my backpack, or I don't feel like wearing it up front. I just don't do that. But they do have different types of backpacks with no zippers and just more safety proof. TJ Maxx and Marshalls also sell a variety of anti-theft purses. Check them out. Let's talk about safety apps. There's this safety app called Life 360. It allows you to connect with family members in this circle, private circle, and it has location sharing. And it shares your location, your whereabouts in real time. Then there's a help alert. If you push the help alert button, it alerts them instantly of your exact whereabouts. That's another safety measure that you can put in place when you're traveling. I use when I'm running. I even use Road ID. They have an app, and the app on Road ID allows the person, whoever your emergency contact, it allows them to, I think you can put up to 5 people in the app. It allows them to track you as you're running. They get an alert button that, hey, Sean is out running. Here's her route. It shows you it shows them my exact running route. They know exactly where I am. And if I hit a button or if I pause too long, then it alerts the person, hey, something is wrong, Sean is paused. Or if I hit the alert button, it lets them know, send help now, but they have my exact location. Road ID is my emergency bracelet, and I talked about it in one of my running in the heat videos linked above. But Road ID, you will see me most of the time. I never leave home without it, with a bracelet on. And it comes in different colors, different styles, but it has my emergency contact on here just in case anything happens to me if I'm out and about. And I never leave home without it because you just never know. And there have been fatal situations here in the district where people have been out running and they did not have identification on them, and it took them a week to be identified. And this way you can, if something happens to me, the information is here. You can call my emergency contact, and their system also allows you to put in more additional information on your health if you choose to. If there's something that the emergency paramedics need to know, they can dial a certain number and all that information comes up. I highly recommend everyone get a Road ID, especially if you're traveling, just on your day-to-day basis. They have it for your dogs. They have it for your kids. Everyone in the family should have a Road ID. And I'll leave that link in the description box below as well. If you're gaining value from this video, hit the like button. Travel tip number 5. Trust your instincts. It never fails you. And if it does, you live to tell about it. But trust your instincts. I never tell people that I'm traveling alone. I am open to meet new people, but I'm also cautious of my surroundings. If there is something that looks strange, doesn't feel right, I'm out of there. I ask questions later. I don't even question my instinct if I should go or if I should stay. Just leave. If it feels wrong in your gut, it's wrong. If it just doesn't feel right, the hair is standing on your neck, or you're just uncomfortable, leave. It's okay to say no, or don't say anything at all. Sometimes as women, we think we have to say something. We owe people an explanation or a smile. No, we don't owe them anything. And no response is a response. Sometimes you got to get I get my sister girl look on like, what? Have that stern face of You don't know me. Don't talk to me. It's just a safety precaution, a mechanism we use to let people know I'm not for the bull. I don't want to talk to you. Because any woman, honey, men are going to flirt with us. We look good. It's just the way it is. They're going to say, hey. And if I feel comfortable saying hey, I say hey and hi, and I keep it moving. But if I don't want to be bothered, no, don't get all up in my space. And I'll ease out that situation, and you'll know from your gut how to handle particular situations. I do not stop at night to give anybody directions, whether I'm at home or I'm in a new city, international. It does not matter. It's nighttime. I'm not stopping to answer no questions. I'm going about my business. I'm keeping my distance. You will never catch me start talking to me and then somebody come and rob me. No. Be careful of your alcohol intake. If you're solo, watch your drink. Don't accept drinks from strangers, and just be very mindful. I don't smoke, and I would just say be careful. Don't inhale. And just be very careful of accepting things from people. You want to dress for the culture. That's part of your research in knowing where you're going. What is appropriate? What's inappropriate? What are the proper way? Do you handshake? Do you not handshake? Do you kiss? Do you not kiss? How do you eat your food? All those are cultural things that you want to learn before you get there, because you don't want to unknowingly offend anyone. Do me a favor, if you're gaining value from this video, hit the like button. Travel tip number 6. Learn the language. Learn the basic phrases of a language. Whenever I travel, I always want to respect the culture. I always want to learn the basics. Hello, thank you, please, can you help me? And it goes a long way. It makes a difference in how they treat you and the reception of you, because they see you're trying. I've always been an explorer. Even when I travel with friends, I venture off by myself. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm comfortable because I feel as though I've learned some of the language, the basic phrases, and I can get by if I get in a pickle. And we were in Brazil, in Salvador, Bahia, which I love. It's a beautiful place. And I went off and ventured off on my own because I felt comfortable with the language, and I did well. I didn't get taken. After I got back to the States, I'm like, I can't believe you all let me go by myself. I could have got taken. I finally saw that movie, and back then I was a tenderoni, you know. Learning the language builds confidence, and it makes you comfortable in your environment, in your experience, in your preparation to travel solo. I don't care if you know only 10 words. That builds confidence for you to prepare for your trip, feel comfortable about going, and when you get there, speaking the language. Check out my video linked above, learning Hungarian phrases from a local. Travel tip number 7. If you travel solo, you'll discover there are a lot of other people who travel alone, whether RV, abroad, or backpacking. Not everyone is married or have a travel partner. You should be able to function on your own no matter where you are in the world. So when people ask me, are you afraid to travel solo or international by yourself? I don't know any other way. I moved to DC when I was 21, 22 years old. If you want to know my journey and who I am, click the link above to watch the video, How to Live Life Without Regrets. I was living life without regrets before I even knew what it was. Traveling solo teaches you so much about yourself. It's a whole new world out there. You explore, you open your mind, and you meet a new you, actually. Enjoy your solo trip. You have put 1 through 6 in place. You good. Now it's time for you to have a good time. Be free. The liberation of traveling by yourself. It builds confidence. You can do whatever it is you want to do. You don't have to worry about Jill, Jack, Bob, Sally. Do you, boo? Meet new people. You explore different places, and you learn about yourself. Let me know in the comments if you have traveled solo or want to travel solo, and what you enjoy or don't enjoy about it. Share your solo travel tips below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe, like, thumbs up, and share this video. Until next time, peace.